Has Fred looked this week?
Well, right now we're working him little by little. We know, we got to get his technique work in. We got to get things back. He had to miss last week's ball game. So the whole deal about his position is no different than a very good hitter in baseball. Timing, everything. So just trying to take it a step at a time and look for him to, help us this weekend and be a, big asset to us.
Any doubt in your mind he'll play?
Well, we're going to make sure that he's 100%. I don't want him out there guarding those receivers unless he is. I mean, you've got to have everything with you when you play against a Coach Spurrier football team, especially with the receivers they got. And right now we're just trying to take it daily, not trying to do it all in one day, because we're trying to take gradual, make sure that he can cut on his ankle, make sure that he can 360 on it, and every move that he's going to have to make to be able to guard these guys.
What did you see from Jonathan in his place last week? It's probably more than Jonathan Mincy. It's probably more than he played this year.
Correct. He's really improved. Mississippi State ball game was the first game that he really went in and had a bunch of plays. And they was, as any guy that is a freshman in this league, last year he was here, but he was a redshirt freshman. He gets playing in. And he improved drastically the very next ball game, and he improved even more in this one. So I'm looking for steady improvement each and every week out of Jonathan. But, he stayed lower, more balanced in his steps. He's very aggressive in his hand switches, that you have to be on these receivers. And I thought he had a very good game all the way around. Physically, really supported the run, was able to defeat some blocks. And in this league, you're going to have to be able to do that. It's not just about defending the pass. You defend the pass when it's time to defend the pass. But in our situation, with a very young defense, and I talk to my guys all the time about rallying, being physical on the run. And I thought, as you saw last week, that really was a big step up in his game. He tackled well and supported the run.
Talk about run support this week against Lattimore.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the very best I've seen in the league thus far, period. I mean, in the story. Great running back. It's like I told all of our guys yesterday. I said, there's guys that claim to be running backs, and then there's running backs. There's guys that's fast, and there's guys that's quick, and there's guys that's bulldozers. I said he's all of the above, and he can do it all. We're going to have to tackle. We're going to have to lock. This guy, you're not going to tackle him by hitting at him. That's not even going to bother him at all. His yards after contact, if you don't like him when you tackle him, he's going to have a bunch of them. And we've talked to him all week about that. And we know that we're going to have to help our guys. We're a young defense. But we've got our work cut out for us in the back end too, and we've got some great receivers that we've got to try to control. But when it's time to come run support, our guys know the importance of it.
Alshon Jeffrey, especially, how do you kind of mitigate a guy like that's impact on the game?
Oh well, first of all, he's just so big and strong. Great hands, and especially down in the red zone. They've got every throw that you could imagine to this guy. They're just going to let him have you one-on-one a lot of times, and he's going to go up. Trying to guard him one-on-one in this league has been trouble for everybody. And, us being a young guy, somebody asked me, said, well, who are you going to put on him? I said, well, does it really matter? All of them's going to have to take their shots and play him, He's a guy that got the back shoulder throw, too. If you go cut him off on the deep ball, then they're going to throw it to the back shoulder, and he's going to muscle you and go up and make a play. He's got all the double moves. He's got all the the moves inside. He's able to take you off the line because he's so physical. He can push his weight around, coming off. So you're going to be a tremendous challenge. But that's the reason you signed to play here at Auburn. That's what I've told our young men. Get to play against somebody of his caliber. We have to try to step our game up.
Ron White mentioned getting up in him early, with the hands and kind of jamming him. Is that something with somebody so big and physical and long that you kind of got to get into him to alleviate some of the advantages he has? Well,
that's one of the tools. Everybody, you're going to try everything on a receiver like him. You better have every tool that you have in your tool chest. You better use. You're going to have to play him off. You're going to have to press him, and you're going to have to mix it up, and you're going to have help from someone else every night. You've got to have help underneath from your linebackers. You're going to have help over the top of your safeties. And at this same time, I mean, great coaching staff, great program. They know that too, and they know that if you spend all your time trying to cover him, it just leaves one less guy in the box to stop Lattimore. So pick your poison, you know. And it's going to take everybody on deck to tackle Lattimore. And like I said, when you do, you know, if you try to one extra guy to try to help, then you got problems. So you have to pick and choose your poison.